So guys, let's now get to the main topic. We're talking about JJ Bund. Guys, let me tell you now, without mincing any words, JJ Bund is in hot soup. Let me tell you why. He has given a statement to the police that hints and indicates him identifying and naming his alleged abductors. Now, before I go any further, okay? Before I go any further, let me explain. Let me take you all the way back to the day that JJ Bund went missing. Remember, everything was fine up until Edgar Lungu got involved. When we heard the news that JJ Bund had gone missing, all of us were concerned because, I mean, nobody wants someone to go missing. Nobody wants anybody to be hurt. I remember I even posted, I said, JJ, we're looking for you, man. I hope you're okay. Come on, we're worried about you. We are worried about you, man. That event took a nasty political tribal turn when Walungu got involved, and he went to Ibex and he demanded the release of JJ Bund because according to Walungu and his band of brothers, they were convinced that JJ was being held at Ibex Hill Police Station. A short time after that, Munir Zulu jumped on the bandwagon. He started issuing statements, careless statements. Before long, Edith Nwakwe started talking about how she was absolutely sure, beyond a reasonable doubt, beyond any shadow of doubt, that the state had abducted JJ Bund. This is what she said. A short time later, a few other people started making careless, crazy statements. That woman, that MP member of parliament from Infoe, she starts talking about how the Bemba tribe is extremely ubiquitous. There are more Bembas than there are anyone else. The Bembas and the Easterners, we can defeat law enforcement. How many police officers are present in this country? We outnumber the police officers. This woman from Mfoe, this PF member of parliament, Maureen, whatever the hell her name is, she says, we can dwarf the police. We can render the police forces insignificant. Those were words of war, attrition, rebellion against authority, and anarchy. That's what they were peddling. And all of this noise was happening. JJ Bund's absence caused the PF to go into tribal mode, and all they were trying to do was to use Banda's absence for their own political gain. They started making careless, foolish statements, statements that bordered on inciting the public to civil unrest. That's what they wanted. To their disappointment, to their dismay, JJ Bund had only gone missing for 48 hours, 2 days. At the end of those 2 days, boom, JJ asokoroka. Achita chokiksi, achoka, aoneka. When he came out, the PF were very, very disappointed. The PF said, man, tell you what, how the hell are we going to run a revolt with JJ Bund alive? He's no good to us alive. JJ Bund was worth more to the PF dead than he is alive. Why? Because had he been found dead, mawe, ha, ushenga tulanwa menji, ushenga tulalala. ngabali musangana for JJ Bund. You think the PF would have slept? Na abene binwe umpundu. My goodness. Ngabati yo uyu muntu wesibali muipaya. Anyway, they're going to kill us next. So the best is abantu aba again to cheshani to have mepo. Pantu umrendo yu wakuchipata uyu wakupeta uke amwipaya. They've killed him. They've killed him. So if we're not careful, they're going to kill us. So before that happens, we are asking the Zambian people to rise against this regime so that we save ourselves. Do you see where the plan was? That was the plan. So JJ Bund being found alive was of no use to the PF. Banda was worth more to the PF as a dead man because it would have fit perfectly into their false narrative that the state had abducted him. But because the PF are so foolish, they would do anything to try and sway the minds and the focus of the Zambian people. They were willing. Nay, they were prepared to do everything within their power to milk this story and twist it and turn it into a tribal narrative, but they failed miserably. Why? Because Banda was found alive. Now, here's the problem with Banda. The moment they found him, that's the reason they had to secure him. Because guys, understand this. This nation was standing on the precipice of civil unrest, not because JJ Bund was important. He's not important. I mean, who's JJ Bund? He's just an uneducated chap from Chipata, from Petauke, who happens to be a member of parliament. What intrinsic value does JJ Bund have? Completely nothing. So it is disingenuous for you to suggest, no, JJ Bund was a person of interest, that the state had to quell him, they had to corner him because he was so important. What importance, mwewa? What would the motive be for the state to abduct JJ? What is the motive? Any crime that's committed has to have a motive. What's the motive? You think against the other opposition political players that exist, you think JJ Bund ranks high on the top of the list? There are people like Edith Nawakwe, people like Given Winda, people like Emmanuel Mamba. These are heavyweights in the arena of opposition politics. Now here you are saying, no, JJ Bund was the one that they wanted. Wanted him for what? What was the motive? So, let me get back to the point. It was not that JJ Bund was important, but because of the tribal rhetoric, the tribal talk that Walungu inspired, Munir Zulu sparked, Edith Nawakwe peddled. This young girl from Mfue, what is her name? Maureen. Uyum Kashana wa Mfue, this MP, this PF NP. The nonsense they were peddling turned the JJ Bund absence into a priority because people now were focused on this man, JJ Bund, because of the political and tribal rhetoric that these people began to build. So once he was found alive, and thank God he was found alive, boy, I'll tell you what, once they found him, it was the job of the police to secure him. Why? Because he has all the answers. He's the one who can tell us what happened. The problem with Banda is that if he begins to lie, If he begins to fabricate, which for all intent and purposes, it appears that is what he's doing. If he lies, if his story does not make sense, Bantu, ngatafile panga sense. And if you've ever been interrogated by the police, my friend, when police ask you, when they are talking to you, and your story is not making jelly, when your story is not jellying, Bwana win. Banda knows he's been cornered. Banda knows the jig is up. Fidel and Louis Farrakhan. Louis Farrakhan used to say the jig is up. The game is over. He's got his back against the wall. He doesn't know what to say. So, nomba alesa bailafi. Alesa, Hamasaka from State House. Where can Hamasaka even begin to abduct JJ? For what? In what way? For what? For what purpose? JJ Bunda is saying no. Wali wula ama knife, ama pliers, wali nchusha, ama cables, wali nchitobu sana. No, but when we see the pictures of his body, there are no lacerations. I mean, there may be a few bruises here and there, but nothing that indicates that a knife was used, a pliers was used, electrical cables were used, nothing of the sort, nothing of the kind. Now, here's the thing with lies when it comes to the police, especially a story like this one. If you don't tell the truth from the onset, Bantu Bane, let me tell you, from the time Banda was secured, from that first interview you had with the police till today, Lero the 12th, I can tell you, Banda has probably told the police more than 10 different versions of that event. I can tell you that. I can tell you that Banda's story does not have any consistency whatsoever. Why? But mufi. No mango lebe po mufi. Ulalaba. You forget the details. Lero alandechi. Lero alumbulecho. Lero achitevi. Bwana uyu bando you, whether he likes it or not, aenda. He's going. Why? Because he's trying to pander to the people he serves. Abayeti yo aleti ile yabanjikete ne mani subduct wale njipushati iwe Banda, can you tell us the source of Lungu's funds? That's are those the lies you can make up? So it needs an abduction to get those answers? If you want to know who's funding Walungu, you abduct Banda? Honestly? You just ask. You get the records. They're there. They're there. Who told you that a whole abduction of Banda will give you those results? Mufifie bweka. Sengerere nyuko mwe mpanye amwe. Mwalachi mwana. Muzachi wana bwana. Pantu, fidia mwa achitire fidia, when you tried to incite the public, when you tried to incite public civil unrest for the sake of your own political aggrandizement, you didn't think about the country. You didn't care about the country. You were just going with this umufi. Yo Banda bali muiba. I'm a tribalist. Kuno ku east muila isako. Na ifo ku south tutakula yako. They were just putting in motion a mess. The moment Banda was found alive, all those machinations fell away. Immediately, they just fell away. PF. Why? Because Banda was worth more to the PF dead than he was alive. You shall see it. And when you see it, you'll be convinced that a country is a country indeed. All right. Thanks, guys. I got to go. God bless. Thanks for watching. Good night.